Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on Nick Talks Brazil. Today I wanted to actually show you around my apartment and talk a little bit about renting apartments here in Brazil, the cost, what comes with the cost, what you're responsible for, and just basically how it looks inside. This is one of the older buildings, I guess, in Copacabana, Rio de Janeiro. And you'll get that noise sometimes, so that's another thing I was going to talk about. The noise here is probably the worst part about living on a main street in Copacabana or a busy street in Copacabana. You learn to kind of live with it, but yeah, so that's going to be on another video about things that you're not going to like about living in Brazil. What was I saying? Yes, so basically I wanted to show around the apartment and give you an idea of the space that is here. I would say it's about between 400 and 500 square feet. It's more of like a bachelor, if I had to say, more of a bachelor. But in my opinion, the bachelors here, they call it a kitchenette. But in my opinion, the bachelor is, or the kitchenette is definitely more spacious, if I had to say so. There's more mirrors here that makes it feel more spacious, that's for sure. So let's take a look around, come along. So let's start by showing the main room, the main living room or bedroom, because they're combined, just to give you an idea. Two chairs, nice mirror there. As I said, this place has a lot of mirrors. Came with a TV. They also had internet automatically here. We do pay for it, but it's relatively cheap. Come to the bathroom here. Nice and spacious. And this is the shower area. So they call this the box, I guess because of the shape. And more mirrors in the bathroom. Gives you the real feel that you're in a bigger place. Now coming into the kitchen area, where we have a nice mural here of Christ the Redeemer looking down on the city. Kitchen area where you prepare food. Storage cubbies up here where you can store your stuff, your supplies and your dishware. The only negative I would say is that it has two cooking stoves rather than 3 or 4. Kind of makes things go a little slower when it comes to cooking. This here is to heat up the shower. So if you want to have a hot shower, you have to turn this gas on to the right. We do pay for the gas. Again, it's not expensive if you're paying in Canadian or US dollars or in British pounds. Fridge. Came with a microwave, and let's go back to the main room here. Also another nice picture. I don't know if you can see that. It's Paris 1950. Two really useful fans on the ceiling there. Quite amazing in my opinion because it makes things a lot cooler when on a very hot day, which, as you know, in Brazil it gets like that. Here's a typical, I would say dresser, but like, how would you say, armoire, I guess, but for clothes. So let me just open it to give you a feel how it looks. Sliding door, mirrors. You can actually store a lot of stuff. So clothes goes in the drawers. Bottom we have the barbecue, and a little bit of a storage area here, and for blankets and whatnot. So it really does, there is a lot more space than you would think in this apartment. I feel like I'm in a bigger apartment, which I guess has a lot to do with the massive window here. Let me just give you a look. So it's quite massive, and it's the entire apartment. So you kind of feel like you have a balcony. You have that effect, at least for me, which is great. The view from our neighborhood here in Copacabana. And this would be the top floor. I guess the 13th floor or whatnot. So it also came with these dressers as well, if you want to store some items and whatnot. Alright, so let's come back to me and we'll talk a little bit about how you get an apartment here in Rio or in Brazil. So it's very hard for a foreigner like myself actually to rent an apartment. You can do it, but it's very, very rare that the owner or the landlord will do it. Only the fact that they don't think that you're going to stay the full year or 2.5 years, because they generally do a 1.5 to 2 year contract. I think it's 36 months, but you can opt out after a year or something. So they don't believe that the foreigner is going to keep his word and honor the contract. I guess that would be the why they don't do it. Now there are places that will do it. It's very rare. You can look online. You can always ask. Some places will rent temporary. They do have it's called temporário, which is temporary, obviously, and they do offer that, but they tend to be not the greatest quality, like because they're obviously not offering it to Brazilians. They have temporary, which is like weekly or monthly or whatever. Some of them are okay. I saw some and they were okay, and in other neighborhoods, whatnot. Now this apartment where I'm at, I was able to rent it along with my girlfriend. So she is a Brazilian, and it made things so much easier. And the fact that we did have to sign, I think it was a 32 or 36 month contract, but you can opt out after 1 year and not face a penalty. We were also able to incorporate the internet in our names. So the apartment comes with the internet. You have to pay the electricity bill, the gas bill. What else is there? The cable, I think, is included. I don't think we paid cable because it's the basic comes with the apartment. So how they base it is you pay the rent, the base rent, then there's a condominium fee, which I guess is for security and other things, and then all the rest of the other things you pay yourself. You just have to change over into your name. I chose Copacabana neighborhood because I know the neighborhood. It's a little bit safer. There's so many options to choose from in the area, like restaurants, grocery stores. It's super close to the beach. I have to say, it's super close to the beach, and that really was the selling point for me. The apartment is great. It was just recently renovated. I don't have any problem with living here at the very least 1 year. Now the negative of living in this neighborhood is, and I will talk about this in another video regarding what you're gonna like or what you're not gonna like about Brazil, is the fact that there's so many homeless people. And it's not, I'm not against homeless people, because every country has it, but here there's so many, and you have to be very careful because you don't know the difference between a homeless person and a thief, somebody who's going to rob you or something. So you literally have to keep your eyes open on that. But it's sad, the fact that there's so much homelessness here, and I think that they hang around in this neighborhood only the fact that here it's one of the wealthier neighborhoods in Rio de Janeiro. And it really is sad. So that's one thing you'll be shocked about if you come here for the very first time, living here especially. You kind of get used to it. I wouldn't say get used to, but you accept it, I would say. The other really negative thing about living in this neighborhood is it's very noisy, specifically during the week. Weekend it's not so bad. Like actually today it's Saturday when I'm filming, but the weekdays, specifically because of motorcycles passing by, and there's so many. The age of the pandemic or whatever has caused more people to order more food, more deliveries, more of everything, because they don't want to go out or whatever. Even now in 2021, now you're gonna get a lot of these motorcycles pass by, and they took off basically the exhaust of the motorcycle. And someone told me here that this is to basically show off your motorcycle, be flashy in front of people to show that, hey, I've got a motorcycle. I don't know how much truth there is to that, but it's very annoying. I wanted to say, if you're getting value from this video and you're enjoying it, please like the video, please subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to make more and more videos regarding my experiences here in Brazil and talking about life in Brazil. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now back to what I was saying. Another negative about this neighborhood is if you're on a budget and you're living in this neighborhood, it's really going to hit you where your wallet is, I have to say. You can find markets and certain fairs that have cheaper like produce and whatnot, so that does help a lot in the food factor, which in my opinion tends to be the more expensive thing. The rent here, so what I pay in Canadian dollars is approximately 500 Canadian dollars per month. That's just the rent. That's not hydro or any of the other stuff. Totaling, I would say it's 5, 6, 7. I would say around $750 for everything. For everything. That's the rent. That's gas, electricity, internet. Around $750. I would say that would be the price I would put. Maximum total. The maximum would be $800 for sure. So it's quite reasonable if you're going to be paying in Canadian dollars. You're not going to be breaking the bank. Another thing I wanted to mention also is when you're looking for an apartment here, try to look for some place that has 24-hour security or front door service, because I think it's important given the fact how dangerous the city can be, specifically at nighttime or whatever. And if you're a young lady or a single lady, I think it's also a really good idea to have a 24-hour security service or front door service. In my building they do have that, which was a really, really good thing. I think most places do have this, at least in Copacabana or the south zone of the city. If you're looking for an apartment, they tend to have 24-hour security or front door service. And they're generally always polite and helpful. So I would say that's important. One other negative thing I would say about this neighborhood, and I'm not going to say generalize everybody because I know a lot of Brazilians, I've met a lot of people in this neighborhood, is that a lot of people are kind of stuck up. There's a lot of wealthy people here, and it tends to show a lot easier. I've seen some very generous people here and give to homeless people or buy a meal for a kid from the community, the poor neighborhoods here in Rio. So it does give me some hope when I see that, but you will notice if you're living here a little bit of the snobbery, if that's even a real word, the snobbish people, I guess. I just tend to look the other way. I don't really care about people who are snobs or rude like that. It's just not worth your energy. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my talking about my apartment here in Copacabana. If you have any questions or you have any comments, please state them below, and I will definitely respond as soon as I can. See you in the next video. Until then, take care guys. Ciao ciao.